riding tough.
There he goes, throws that boot in right there.
Hasn't had any luck in trying to make the turn. A couple times he's been stopped for potentially dangerous. But you're right, Nick. He's a smothering wrestler. Good ride and attacking on his feet.
Miller's been able to get to his feet once or twice, but other than that, I don't think he's got off the mat too much. It's been a pretty dominant 6-0 performance here.
Lots of red here at Bettendorf High School with the North section and the Assumption section. Certainly there's a lot of home Bulldogs, but it's great representation from our first and second place teams.
Miller potentially dangerous. He's sure getting after those arms, but got to keep it legal so the ref can let it go so you can get those back points.
Brody, as a top wrestler, what's your strategy here? You got 25 left. You've been called for the potentially dangerous almost every time you've got your leg in, attempting those power halves. Would you go to something different? It looks like here.
He's going something different. Oh.
Yeah, in my opinion, unless you're not keeping your chest on top to where you're kind of hiding it a little bit from the ref, where he's not going to call it potentially dangerous, you've got to come out to the side, try something different. And I was a big team guy. I was always trying to look for bonus points to increase our lead. He's wrestling through every position, which is good. That's a pretty dominating 6-0 finals win for Peyton Westland from North Scott.
Your MAC champion at 120 pounds from North Scott, Peyton Westland. We move to 126 pounds. This weight is pretty open as the number 3 ranked wrestler from Bettendorf, Aiden Evans, is out hurt. So we've got a couple new faces. Gentlemen, who do we have here?
We got a Cale Breeder from North Scott, 20-16 senior, and TJ Fitzpatrick from Davenport Assumption, 8-1 as a junior. And we both know TJ pretty well. He comes down and trains with us all summer. So
yeah, TJ's a great guy from a great family, and so is Mr. Breeder. He wrestled with his father at Bettendorf. These are great kids. Great families. This will be a fun one to watch.
It's always interesting, too, when you got the top kid out of a weight and you see kind of who arises and who kind of steps up and decides they want to take that weight over. So it looks like we got these two here, number 1 and number 2 seed. So
TJ's only had, 8 or 9 matches, I think. He's come back from a Tommy. Okay, so he's 8-1.
Yep.
Aiden beat him at the duel. Aiden Evans, that is, from Bettendorf. And TJ's coming back, as you see the sleeve on his right arm, from a Tommy John surgery. So that got corrected, and now he's back, hopefully about at full strength.
Yeah, I don't think you hear Tommy John too much from wrestling injuries. That's more of a baseball injury.
Exactly.
Shot by Fitzpatrick. He gets stuck in a front headlock. He's got to circle to his feet and clear that.
Good reshot from Brader coming out. He's in deep.
TJ's good at that shin whizzer, though. Nothing. Oh.
Good little scramble here.
Whoa!
On the edge. Good scramble here on the edge.
No points award. Now they just gave 2.
Gene Bell's your head official. Mike Burke now has rotated to the assistant for this match. It looks like they're just going to go back and forth through the finals here.
Breeder's high. TJ shakes him. He might be. Oh, stalemate. He was just about to get him off there.
Looks like on the 3rd place match over there, Elazar Valerio, he's another one of our kids from Davenport North, coached by a couple of my old buddies, Colin Carstens and Tommy Argo. They're trying to turn that program, get it going in the right direction again.
They're having some luck. Again, they and West are starting to come back. They actually have some kids who know what's going on. They have some interested wrestlers who are doing some things like you just mentioned, extra camps. Sure would like to see them both come back to prominence.
Yeah, I think the big thing with, especially at Davenport North, just from talking to Tommy and Colin, is numbers. You got to get guys out that want to come out, and once you get your hands on them, then you can start molding them into wrestlers. And they're starting to get some athletes. I know Jack West, I believe he's an 82-pounder. I think he's in the finals tonight. We might be able to see him a little bit later, but they're just taking athletes and trying to turn them into wrestlers.
They've had a nice resurgence in the athletic program since the principal, Jay Chelf, took over, 5-6 years ago. You saw a football program come back, a girls basketball program come back. Now they got a boys basketball program coming back. I think they can make this happen on the wrestling mat as well.
Yeah, it takes a total team effort from top to bottom, in any school. No team can do it just alone. They need support and help from administration, and that's when it really becomes fun, and that's how you start having success.
Nick, you saw that stall call. Strategically, what would you be thinking if you're TJ or TJ's coaches after that?
You know what? Well, that's one of those things. Brody touched on this earlier. Scoring at the end of periods is huge. I personally, if you can't get the guy down, you take the stall call to give up instead of giving up a point. That was good mat awareness by Brader. But TJ, you get to your feet with 8 seconds left. You got to get away. Now you go into the second period 2-0 instead of 2-1. Not like it's a huge deal, but those points are huge. I mean, if you can get them, you got to get them, especially at end of periods.
Brader started underneath in the disadvantage position.
It looks like he's about to, if he steps over and hooks, that's
there's
two. 2-point reversal Brader, 4-0.
Yeah, TJ's got to find a way to come up, get one, get back into this match. Right now it's 4-0. He's on his stomach. He's got to find a way to get up, get some points on the board.
Out of bounds. Fresh start definitely helps out the bottom guy there, I think. Got to have more of an explosive move off bottom by Fitzpatrick. Just kind of held there and let the top guy make the first move.
Yeah, Brader's doing a good job. A lot of pressure forward, attacking wrists. It's tough to get out when you got all your weight on your hands. You got to get your hips underneath of you, keep that power underneath you so you can come up.
Yeah, right now, Brader's put a lot of weight on TJ's hands. There you go. Now TJ gets to his feet. Now this is where I'm talking. You get to your feet. You work hard to get to your feet. You got to get away. The work sometimes, once you get to that position, that's when the work starts. Oh, we got no quick swipe. Only got a one swipe.
My guess is that TJ's probably going to choose top in the third period. He learned, he goes to the crab ride a lot, and that all came from the legend. I think we all can agree he's a living legend, Pete Bush. Won multi-state tournaments for us at Assumption. TJ's going neutral.
National champion himself is Coach Bush.
If you're going neutral, then he's got to pick up his offense. He's got good offense. He's just got to get to it.
Yeah, when Taranas took over, that's big shoes to fill, following up Pete Bush. I don't think there's many coaches in the history kind of have done what he did. He inherited a team that was 1-12, and then at the rest, as we know.
Oh, we got a Jonesy here, but Brader was able to get out of it. Now we're in a scramble situation. Fitzpatrick's in between the legs coming up. He's got to turn back into him. Brader's got to keep those ankles and start.
Every time these scrambles come up, I keep thinking, in the college system, they've got the rule where you get the exposure count to 3 and then 2 points because it kind of stops all this diving at ankles and rolling around. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? You wrestled at a time frame where this diving at ankles became popular. You watched a teammate go down to a guy from Illinois in the national finals, basically diving at ankles. Now that's changed at that level.
Yeah, it's wrestling's evolving. Even since we've been in high school or college, it's different. I think Ben Askren says it the best though. He says it's not scrambling, it's wrestling. And I think that's how people got to look at it now. Is it's wrestling, and you got to be able to learn to wrestle and improve in those positions. And we got a lot of our little kids that they get in these positions, and we encourage it. Obviously, we want to keep them safe and make sure they're not getting hurt in those positions. But it's good to learn there because you want to learn how to wrestle in those positions so you're not feeling it for the first time in a match.
Well, Funky Ben would be able to tell you. He was, again, one of the greatest. He's got a connection to Bettendorf. His father lived here for a long time, still might be living here.
I think he still is living here.
Brader up 4-0 here.
And Fitzpatrick gets
Ooh,
2.
Nice.
Back in it.
TJ.
One turn.
25 seconds left. He's got to find a way to get 2-point turn or even a 3-point turn to do it.
If I'm Brader, I'm not being content. I'm not trying to hold 4-2. He's got to stay solid here. Obviously not jeopardize his position.
Seek a rest. There's a, yep.
You never like to finish a match on bottom, though. You know, even if you're winning, you want to finish on your feet or on top.
So there it is.
Another champion for North Scott at 126 pounds. This time it's Cale Brader. As we move to 132 pounds. Again, I want to thank our sponsor, Jorgensen Insurance, an independent agency, works with a variety of major carriers like Blue Cross Blue Shield, The Hartford, Iowa Mutual, Progressive, Safeco, State Auto, and Travelers. Visit jorgenseninsurance.com for your free quote. Who do we have here at 132, Nick?
So it looks like North Scott's Josh Connor, a junior, 26-12, versus Noah Gonzalez, as well as a junior from Davenport Assumption, 20-5.
My guess is this is not their first meeting.
Oh, I bet not.
I wish we could have done a little bit of homework before coming on to this, but I'm sure these guys have felt each other before, so hopefully there's no break-in period. Hopefully they would just get out there and get after it.
Both guys with falls in the semis.
Kind of interesting that there's not a ranked wrestler at 2A or 3A at 132 in the MAC conference.
Ooh, Connor had that, pull that in and finish that.
So Connor was the other one that was doing those lessons with Peyton Westland. We'll see if Connor can follow his buddy up and get that MAC title just like Peyton. I think these guys are both pretty athletic. I don't think you'll see too much straight on stuff. A little bit more slick, elbow passes. He's got to have short arms here, snapped him down into a front headlock.
Gonzalez looks good trying to pass that elbow. He has some side-to-side movement.
Definitely looks like what touching what Brody said earlier. Wish we would know if they wrestled earlier in the year, if they haven't wrestled yet. I'm guessing they did, but just by judging the way they're wrestling, both guys seem to respect the other guy, where no one's really taken over on this match.
Yeah, I know DeChaser, one of the coaches for Assumption, he's had a big impact on the last few years. Very talented high school. He's a 4-time high school state champion in Kansas and wrestled Division I as well and had some success there. You know, I know he gets along real well with this Assumption team, and a lot of their slickness, a lot of their stuff on their feet, you know, that you don't see every day, it comes from that guy.
Speaking of Division I talents, Nick and Brody, both Bettendorf and Assumption have been blessed to be able to train a lot of kids who ended up Division I. We've certainly got a few that are still on the mat yet today, but talk to me about the type of system that can bring a wrestler through. Obviously academics and hard work are things that these young people have to have, but the systems that you both came from seem to be able to put kids in Division I spots. Why is that?
I think the big thing is, you know, once we talk about when Coach Knight came, there's a different standard. You know, there's different standard, different expectations, and you either rose to it or you fell behind, and no one wants to be the guy behind. And then once you're, you know, Brody can speak to this too, we were both fortunate to be a part of some really good teams. Obviously, you know, the teams I was a part of probably weren't quite as good. I don't want to admit it to anyone else, but weren't quite as good as some of the Bettendorf teams to follow. But no one wanted to be the guy that was losing, or the guy, you know, we always had competitions within the room. Who was going to have the most wins on the season? Who was going to have the most pins? And you know, it was a competition within our room, not only within ourselves. And the expectations were so high that we expected out of ourselves and our teammates. And I think that really drives the individuals and the team together to succeed.
But I also offer an observation that you both came back. You both tried to help the program. It's still a part of family for you. You're sitting here on a Saturday announcing the finals of the MAC conference. You provide school help. You provide wrestling help. not only to your schools but in the area. So thank you for that. But I think it's the creation of a family that also helps.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys nailed it on the head there. It looks like Connor just got a chance to start the period on top. Got 2 back points, trying to drive him forward again. But I'll just kind of build on Nick's response there. But I don't think there's a secret. There's no secret formula for success. A lot of it is self-driven. You can have the best coaches in the world, that know what it takes and have been there and done it. But really, at the end of the day, it comes down to the individual. The individual is the one that has to want it, the one that wants to be at practice. Because when you're at practice and you don't want to be there, you're not getting better. You're probably going the other direction. So really, a lot of it is, and that's why wrestling's so great. It's an individual sport. You're out there versus one other guy. You can't hide. If you put in the work, it's going to show. So Connor, again, I'm very impressed with this North Scott team on top. They have just been nonstop driving off their feet, mixing it up on the guy. He might be getting a couple more backs here. 1 count.
That was a quick swipe. Oh, looks like he's got a leg trick in. One. Oh, he got a swipe. It looked like that was pretty slow to get that second swipe out there. I thought he would have had 2 back points there. But ref says no. We got 5 seconds left. And
again, the dreaded 2 1 counts. Never figured that out. You might have seen me go twice, but it was actually 2 1s. It certainly can happen.
Connor's going down here to start the third. Got a 2-0 lead, looking to build. I guarantee he's not trying to sit on this 2-0 and win it with that score. He wants to put points on the board. He's already up to his feet here.
Got away. One.
There's his one.
About 4-second escape.
Now let's see if Gonzalez can get past that right elbow of Connor. It looked like in the first period, a couple of times moving to his left, he was able to pass the elbow, but did not explode into a shot.
North Scott's on a roll right now. They're taking this momentum. They're really feeding off each other.
Oh, wow.
Connor was in deep. Gonzalez found a way to scramble out of it and actually turn into 2 for himself.
So 3-2, 1 point lead for Connor. Minute 20 left in the third period. That made it interesting. He went from about 2 seconds away from scoring that takedown, making it 5-0.
And Gonzalez going to put him on his feet.
Good job by Gonzalez, not conceding that position.
Tim Hernandez in the house.
He's working a table with his lovely daughter Ashley. We've got lots of former Bulldog wrestler, football player types here, obviously helping out. Tal Schoenfelder, who still helps coach our kids program with Tim Hernandez. Jeff Schwarm.
There's the family aspect you were talking
Gonzalez
about.
back in on the
right.
leg.
Giving back to the program.
Connor goes to that shin whizzer again. Going back to what you said earlier, Bob, you see a lot of those shin whizzers and a lot of guys that's part of that kind of scrambling. Oh, takedown.
We're all knotted just inside a minute.
What's he going to do? Is he going to cut him?
Connor back to his feet. Got away. 5-4.
Looks like both guys are getting pretty tired. Their feet are getting pretty heavy. The guy that moves his feet, gets his head position here and moves, is going to be the one that's going to come out on top. Might not be another takedown, but you got to move your feet.
Gonzalez had that great counter to the Connor shot. And there's a great shot by Gonzalez.
Connor locked in the crotch, getting his legs back. That's what you got to do. You got to be basic here and get those legs back. Gonzalez is getting crowded. Oh, got his
10
weight
seconds.
too high.
10 seconds.
No, that's not 2 until he comes over. 5 seconds left. He's got to hook both of them. That's not 2 yet. Nope. Look, Connor's gonna.
No points. What a great scramble. What a great scramble.
Turned into a pretty good match.
Fun third period there. Good effort by both guys.
Here come the Lancers at 132. It's Josh Connor, your MAC champion.
Noah Gonzalez not happy there. He's got to wrestle those first 4 minutes like he wrestled those last 2 minutes. He was on the attack, got himself back in the match. That's what you got to do for 6 minutes. A tough little lesson learned there.
You're going to see a ranked wrestler, a freshman from Davenport Assumption at 138 pounds, Michael Macias, ranked number 4 in 2A. His partner,
Carson Harder.
There you go.
Thank you. Muscatine, senior, 32-10. Haven't seen much of either of these guys. I've seen Michael Macias wrestle a couple times, and I really like his scrappiness and his pace. He's not afraid to go for it right there.
Right there to a headlock.
Getting back points right away.
That's tight, boys.
Yeah,
that's tight, and he's got a minute 30 to settle in.
That is tight.
Whoa.
Went to adjust on it and lost it.
He went to the legs there. It looked to me like it was tight as well. Maybe he felt something we couldn't see.
Macias is one of those guys where he's just going to go. He's got a gas tank on him, and he's going to make you feel his pressure for all 6 minutes. So Harder's got his work cut out for him here for Muscatine.
All rankings are courtesy of The Predicament. Thank you to Wyatt Schultz.
He's got him flat on his belly. Looks like he's getting a chicken wing in there.
Can he get the suck back? Nope.
Now Harder's moving. That's what he needs to do. If he sits down there, he's just getting smothered. He's got to get to his feet and try to keep working to get away, put some moves together. Just like that, he gets back to his feet. Macias is riding hard. Throws in the leg, looking for a Merkle maybe.
You know what I love seeing is all these guys that are on top, they're not just trying to ride. There's a time and place for when you got to get tough and you just got to ride tough. But, we're in the first period here. Now all these guys, they're looking to score. I'm pretty impressed.
Lots of legs. Legs being thrown by Assumption and now North Scott. That's kind of new to their repertoire, and I wouldn't have said a year or two ago that you should look out for legs when you wrestle the North Scott duel. But lots of guys on top have added to what they can do.
Macias wins the coin toss to first, going to Harder. Harder picks top. Let's see. Must be pretty good on top if you're picking top in the second period. So.
Well, he's down 5, so just like you're thinking, he was taken down and ridden pretty hard.
My guess is that, I have the same mentality. I know a lot of Assumption guys.
In fact, that looks like you.
There it is.
That's you.
Oh, boy.
Points.
Better get his hip on top now, though.
Oh, there's a little. That's a interesting situation.
When you're on top, you can score in bunches. Points come. You can add them up pretty fast when you know what you're doing.
No
on
escape
top.
has been awarded.
Yeah. 2 back points for Harder, though.
Harder still in the advantage position, according to the official here, which is the right call. If we get a stalemate, you'll see him have an opportunity to score some more near fall. There it is. All right, so Harder will be on top because he did not lose control.
That's one of those situations. You got to be aware of where you're at. He almost was fighting too hard to get that reversal instead of just getting that escape. Harder picked top. He's shown it so far in the first minute of the second period. He's pretty tough on top. When you get a chance to get away, don't get greedy and go for the reversal. Get your escape and get out of there.
Yeah, Macias did have that opportunity. If he could have just freed his leg.
Now he's getting sucked back into that claw crab ride. He's up to his feet, though.
I think this is one of the biggest differences from youth coming into high school. Harder, he's a senior. He's been here for 4 years. The transition from bottom wrestling, to the jump to high school where these guys, they're stronger. They put their hands on it, right here. It's tough. You've got to learn to get away, and that's how you're going to beat the really, really good guys.
And I think that can be said at any level. As soon as you jump from any level, whether it be little pee-wee to A to college, that mat wrestling gets incredibly harder as the levels go up.
What do we got here? Macias. There he goes. He'll get us one.
That's just a good job by Macias, not stop moving and keep fighting for that.
Never was it more apparent that bottom wrestling out of the bottom, and how much more difficult it is when you move to Division I college. You see how you guys had to learn that. We see that in all the kids that we've sent, from my own son Jackson Gallagher to all the kids up at UNI and Wagner and Schwarm and Hernandez. That is the struggle spot, and every time they'd come home over break or something, we'd continue to work on it and talk about it. But that's a huge jump.
So Macias picks down. Down to start the third. Interesting.
Up 6-2. Maybe he wants to work here. It's good to be in this position against some guys that know what they're doing on top. The end goal, obviously he wants to win this match here, but he wants to grow as a wrestler too. He's kind of pulling that leg on top. He's actually making it tighter. He needs to get it out of his lap.
Push it away or get your hips, scoot your hips down and get some hip separation.
See, he's pulling that leg, and he's actually making that power half tighter. He's got to push that away.
Close to 45.
He is right there.
Giving up back points.
Oh.
Reversal into a headlock.
What just happened if you're on top with Harder?
Now you got to put him away if you're here. That's tight.
Yeah, that is.
Harder's fighting, though.
That's close.
No give up.
That's about there.
There it is.
Pin.
Macias with the fall. That was a wonderful scramble as soon as he kicked his leg free. He almost gave up a 2-count near fall, kicked his leg free, turned his body into Harder, and was able to collect the head and arm for a headlock. And Macias is your champion at 138 pounds, MAC Conference. At 145 pounds, you've got a ranked wrestler in Devin Streif in the finals. He's number 2 in 3A.
Versus PV's Caden McDermott, 22-12 as a freshman. Both these guys. This is the 1 and 2 seed right here. Streif being the 1 seed and McDermott being the 2 seed. And we're underway.
Funny, we just ended the shots a couple times. So everything else is fine. Everything's great.
Little feeling out period here.
Yep.
20 seconds in. No real attempts.
No, a lot of.
You'd think if Streif could get his setups, he'd start to attack.
I'm not sure if McDermott's wrestled a match today. Looks like he had a bye.
Nope, he had a first round match.
Oh, there you go.
And then he had a medical forfeit. All
right, so he should be nice and loose. Looks like Streif strikes first with a takedown. 2-0, minute 20 left in the first.
Streif's pretty tough on top too.
Here comes that leg.
Yep.
Did he get it in on the left?
Nope. Hasn't in yet, but he's got that far wrist.
I don't think I've seen any crossface cradle yet.
No.
Used to be get that far wrist, maybe work towards the cradle. Looks like maybe Streif's got that in his arsenal. Turn out a wrist and hit your tilt, maybe an Easton tilt, and if that doesn't work, you go right across the face. So it'll be interesting to see. I think our heavyweight Griffin Little, the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the state, likes that cradle. Maybe we'll see it later at heavyweight.
Oh. Streif's loading. He's got to load him in his hips and create a little more separation in the chest there.
So it looks like North Scott, they're 4-0 in the finals right now. Looking to make it 5 in a row.
There. Oh, who said crossface cradle?
Yeah,
looks like he's
there
trying
it
to lock
comes.
one up.
Well, so far it's been a lot of leggers.
Maybe we get you down in that coach's chair and say,
Yeah, this is making me feel bad. I don't know how to throw legs. That's Grothus.
Isn't that the great thing about wrestling, though? There's so many different styles and different ways to win. You know, you got to build on your strengths, do what's best for you, and attack those positions.
Very true.
And it seems like nowadays, man, all these guys, you know, they're tough on bottom, they're tough on top, they're tough on their feet. Every single one of these guys that's won a MAC championship.
Nice
they
standing
don't
switch.
Have weaknesses.
2.
Nice reversal from Streif. Got right to his feet. Hit a standing switch. Did not get his 1-point escape. Went it right through to the reversal. Now he's given it a point so he can.
I think he might smell a little blood here. He didn't hesitate at all letting him up.
Sometimes when you turn into that leg like he had, the single leg that he used to make the trip, the backwards trip, you start thinking, hey, that felt good. I can get back on my takedowns. Let's get after it.
That's one of those things we tell our kids, though. If you're going to intentionally cut them, you better get back on it.
You better take them down.
You betcha. You can't give those free points without getting more. If you're going to give a point, you better get 2 at least.
Oh, look at that. He just pulls him right in.
3 shots back to back to back. Not much setup there, but, just relentless pressure in the guy's face. I'm coming to get you kind of mentality there from Streif.
And McDermott not doing a whole lot trying to get up. He's got to work a little harder there. Otherwise, I think those refs might start getting on him.
There we go.
Back points. Nope. Another 1 count. We've seen a lot of those today.
A lot of 1 counts, you betcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's, at least I observed that the high school refs take a little bit longer to start counting. You see some folks rolling through quite a bit, so I think it makes some sense to really be sure before awarding points, and I think they do that more in high school than in college, of course.
Yeah, as long as there's consistency, that's what you look for out of refs. We always tell our guys, and the way we always wrestled is, refs are human. They're going to make mistakes sometimes. You've got to be able to beat the other guy and beat the ref in certain situations. You can only control what you can control. You can't control the ref. You've just got to get after it. Go leave no doubt out on the mat.
Updated team scores: North Scott 261, Davenport Assumption 223.5, Bettendorf 178.5, Muscatine 139, Pleasant Valley 138, Clinton 103, Davenport West 84.5, Davenport North 71, and Davenport Central with 33 points. So this is just continuing to pad to the lead here for the North Scott Lancers.
McDermott going down in the third, 8-2 Streif. I wouldn't be surprised if he cuts him here and tries to put a few more points on the board.
Yeah, we'll see how comfortable he is
there he goes.
with a tilt that he's going to now, or that cradle. As a coach, how long would you give him before you said, let's cut him?
Well,
he's fallen out of that twice.
He got reversed.
Yeah, that's trouble.
That's one of those where you just get a little over aggressive, and you got to make sure you have it locked up and you're solid there. And he's he's taking it to him on his feet. I think another takedown or two really takes it out of the guy, and then it makes it easier to turn him. A guy losing by 10 is a lot easier to turn than a guy losing by 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. This sport is so mental, whether it's the match or the hard work or the discipline. It really is the greatest sport for teaching discipline and hard work.
Yeah, we talked about the back points. The other thing high school refs, in my opinion, are a little slow on is stall calls.
Yes.
I think Streif's probably taken 15 shots this match. There's another takedown from him on his own shot, and McDermott hasn't been warned for stalling yet. So if I'm Streif, I'm on his head right here. I'm cutting him, working for those bonus points. Just keep mixing it up, in and out. Doesn't know which direction you're going to hit him from.
Yeah, you're up 7 points here. 50 seconds left. I think he could get another takedown or two and just kind of send a message.
Speaking of stall calls, and 15,500 people last night yelling that word quite a bit. Did you have the opportunity to watch the Hawks beat the Penn State Nittany Lions, gentlemen?
Yes, I watch it from TV. I was not able to make it. I had tickets.
You got little boys, man. Little kids, not boys.
I had some obligations today and tomorrow, so I opted to stay home, but Brody was there, and man, it was – I've been in those situations where you're getting 15 plus in that arena, and it's electric.
Sold out 2 months ahead of time. Did anything surprise you in person, Brody?
There was some wild matches. There was a lot more action than I kind of anticipated, which was great, and it's great as a fan. Michael Kemmerer, though, coming up clutch for the Hawks. Big win over Mark Hall. That was my favorite match of the night. Probably one of the loudest when I've wrestled in there, I've heard it get loud, and you kind of get lost. Your legs get a little weak. As a wrestler, it's totally different than being as a spectator. But man, it's like holy bucket, this loud. I'm not sure I ever did, but it was cool.
Kemmerer looked great, beating the #1 ranked wrestler in the country. Cassiope at heavyweight was selected as the wrestler of the meet. I would have put my money on Kemmerer as well. Nothing against Cass, but the quality of opponent was a little different.
He would have gotten my vote for sure. I'll tell you that. I think Cassiope got it maybe because of the timing of his match.
Exactly, the last match and having to have that win to win the dual meet, which gave us, it was a lot closer than I thought it might be before the match. The injury to DeSanto And then Marinelli's match. Marinelli was 2-0 against his opponent. Both times a body lock, step middle twist got him a takedown and near fall. And last night, an over-under attempted throw got him in trouble. So
yeah, I think you saw there, the first two matchups with those two, Marinelli was definitely baiting him there, and Vincenzo took the bait, and I don't think he took the bait yesterday, and when he felt it, man, did he hit it hard.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so Devin Streif makes it 5 for 5 for North Scott in the finals so far, with a win there at 45, which brings us right into 152. So we've got another North Scott guy, Nate Link, coming in at the 3 seed, 21 and 14 senior. The bar is going to be a little bit tougher here against Eli Lloyd. He's 35 and 3, senior state champ last year, looking for his 4th MAC conference championship.
Great match by Streif, workman-like performance, scored in each part of the mat. Each position looked good.
Yep, and I think he did finish with a major on that.
145-pound kid ranked 2nd from North Scott as Lloyd gets his first takedown. Lloyd is ranked number 1 in 3A at 152 pounds from Pleasant Valley.
One-point Link escaped, 2-1. Kind of a slow, methodical match so far.
Yeah, but I think that's how Lloyd wrestles. I think he tries to lull you to sleep a little bit, and then he'll spring like a possum. You know, he does. He tries to just slow, and then a big explosion like right here. Surprised he didn't go for it there. Good little outside single coming up. Looks like 2 on the edge. 10 seconds to go. Takes a 4-1 lead back to the center.
Another talking point there. Scoring with short time left, 11 seconds. Get 2 points. That's huge.
Lloyd's always been a legger. Enjoys getting that left leg in, going to work.
Yes, I know Lloyd. He's won three MAC championships already, like I said, looking for his 4th. The cool thing is, I know he's done it a bunch of different weights. He used to be a smaller guy. I think he's kind of stayed true to his style as he's gotten bigger. And when you start getting into these heavier weight classes, the scrambling, the style of wrestling, the athleticism, it's just all a little bit different. I used to have fun with Coach Bush, when he used to show us moves at Assumption. I used to say, those moves aren't going to work. You're a heavyweight.
Exactly.
Hold on here, guys. He's got a leg.
Link has got the leg hooked. See, underleg, slipped out.
Oh, that was close, though. Definitely probably not as lopsided so far as we would have thought looking at these credentials and these records.
Yeah, Link had a nice jerk there. He just wasn't able to get to the far shoulder underneath the neck to turn Lloyd's shoulders to a 45-degree angle where he could have secured some near fall points. But he does have the near leg go up. That's a nice near ankle switch from Lloyd.
Nothing yet, though. Link still got that leg tight. Both hands locked. And he comes up. That's where you want to be. You got to come. If you get your head stuck in between those legs, you got to come up. Now he's got to start pushing in. He's still in control of his position. So
Link is
if
still
Lloyd goes to his back, those are
up top, just like in the last match. If you get a stalemate, that's how they'll go. But here we go. And now that's where they end up with Link on top. He trails 4-1. Halfway through, more than halfway through, 3/4 way through the second period here.
It definitely looks like Link's in better shape than Lloyd. Lloyd's got his head on the mat for a lot of the second period. This North Scott team, they came ready to wrestle today, and I think the guys are starting to feel their pressure.
If this was in Carver Hawkeye Arena last night, I know what the fans would be yelling right now.
Yep, we've got a balled up wrestler with his head on the mat. To your point earlier, Brody.
See, here we go. 9 seconds left. End of the period. Lloyd's on his feet. You can't give him away. He gave him one. See?
Wow, there's 1 point escape.
Those are 3. He's gotten 3 points so far let the other guy, let Lloyd score with under 10 seconds left both times.
Okay, we move to the third. Lloyd in charge here at 5-1. Twice Link had an opportunity to possibly get some near fall there in the second. As you pointed out, it looked like Lloyd kind of was sitting there for a while, and it explodes with about 10 seconds left, gets to his feet and finds a way out. And there is a lateral drop attempt by Lloyd. Here's another throw attempt by Lloyd. Coming alive here.
Kind of trying to go for it.
I was almost going to say, I guarantee Lloyd tries a couple big moves here. It's his senior year, you know, in Bettendorf. Pleasant Valley's real close. I know he wants to put on a show for the crowd, and he's probably pretty disappointed in himself up to this point in the match. You know, he's got a minute 36 to really pick it up and try to do something here to get the PV fans on their feet. He doesn't want a ho-hum victory. At least I wouldn't in his shoes, but I'm not sure.
Link with a nice shot. Nice reshot by Lloyd. There's still lots of time left here. Lots of time.
We see that a lot with the kids we coach. Those front headlocks, you got to keep those arms short so you can go behind. They get too deep, you can't get behind a guy.
If I'm Link here, you know, it's 5-1 in the third period. You got to think you got a chance to still win this match, but he just went for a headlock there, kind of got out of position. Lloyd gets the easy 2.
Now it's winding down a little bit. Time's getting too short here. Link's going to have to get to his feet right away.
He's turning in.
He needs a bundle here. Even a reversal and 3 near fall isn't going to do it. He's going to have to get the 1 in between.
I mean, if I'm Nate Link here, 21-14 as a senior, and you come in and take Lloyd into kind of deep water here, I think that's a, you know, we don't talk about moral victories a lot, but you got to be feeling pretty good about that in the sense of progress, you know, working in the right direction.
And the confidence there, even though he gave up the takedown, when it was 5-1, to try to set up a headlock, knowing that could be your 5-point move, that's what you coach him to do. It may come a little early with a minute and a half in the period, but if you see the opportunity, go for it.
Absolutely. Got to take a chance.
Your 152-pound champion at the Mississippi Athletic Conference meet, Eli Lloyd. He's a 4-time Mississippi Athletic Conference champion, and he has won more matches in Pleasant Valley history than any other Pleasant Valley wrestler at 187. We'll see how he does moving forward. Districts in 2 weeks will be right here at Bettendorf High School. For your Bulldogs, there are 8 districts throughout the state. Top 2 finishers go to the state meet.
Moving on to 160-pound match here. We got
Jake Mathitas
from North Scott, 15-3 as a senior. I believe he's ranked pretty high in the state, correct?
Yeah, he's ranked number 7. He's been a little higher than that as well. Very solid kid, in and out of the classroom, 3-sport, very, very good athlete, great baseball player, football player.
He's wrestling Castillo from Muscatine, 34-8 as a senior. Castillo upset the number 2 seed, coming in as a 3 seed, upset the number 2 seed from Bettendorf, Keanu Roberts, 11-6. High-scoring match here.
Yeah, Jake with a quick takedown, looking for the near wrist, trying to bar it up.
Again, just relentless pressure on top from these North Scott guys. I love the top position, so I get to be impressed. Now the thing is they got to get to turns. You know, a lot of them haven't gotten turns, but they're riding tough. You know, and even if you ride tough and you're not turning the guy, you're still taking a lot out of him.
Intentional escape here with no time off the clock. The advantage or top wrestler can give the disadvantaged wrestler 1 point to go to your feet or the neutral position, and that's what Jake did here and got himself a quick takedown.
Almost right to his back.
Almost.
You can see how athletic he is right there. Just shooting from space. You know, even those fakes, you don't have to tie up to score from your feet. You know, some guys, they've got that extra little ability there to, that little jolt, the in and out right there, fake. There it is again, a blast double. Jordan Burroughs is pretty good at that.
I'd say. He taught somebody else that from Nebraska to be pretty good at it too, some James Green guy. I think he's pretty tough.
Now Mathias here on top, 15 seconds left. Obviously not going to release him here. Just keep that pressure forward. Might even try to get a turn on the edge. Got to get his hips back
It's
up,
an interesting attempt at a turn. I would have gone east and the other way.
Yep.
But he didn't have much real estate.
Especially short time
Oh.
like that. 1. See, there you go again. Scoring at the end of periods. That's huge.
Yep, that's a great job by Castillo. Keep fighting, and find a way to score. Let's see if we've got a good top wrestler in Castillo. Maybe get some near fall and get himself back into this match. Here comes the left leg.
Wow.
Both in.
For as explosive as Mathias has been, I would have thought he would have sprung right up to his feet.
Yeah.
Double boots and wow. Quick
Now,
stalemate.
Oh, okay. We go back to the center, start fresh.
Right quick to throw that boot in again.
As we look forward in the NCAAs, the Hawks right now ranked number 1, Penn State number 2. Obviously a great dual meet last night. Got a possible injury at 133 for Iowa and Austin DeSanto. What are your thoughts moving forward? The Hawks have the firepower to take back the crown this year in Minneapolis?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're both Hawkeye homers, as am I, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be as non-biased as I can, but they've definitely got the team to do it this year. You know, in my opinion, I think pulling Abe Assad's red shirt when you have Nelson Brands and Cash Wilkie, what that means to me is that, you know, I think they're trying to break the all-time NCAA points record. Otherwise, I don't see why you do it. You know, you got Cash Wilkie, a 3-time NCAA qualifier, lost in the round of 12 at least twice.
I think twice, yeah.
You know, that right there shows you he's right on the cusp of kind of breaking through. But in my opinion, I think they're trying to put as much firepower on that lineup as they can. And with DeSanto, no one knows kind of what happened there. I think he'll be all right, but I know Bettendorf's Paulie Glenn is probably chomping at the bit. You know, he's worked his tail off up there, maintained his weight, made the descent down to 33. Big kudos to him. I know what that's like to cut a lot of weight.
Yes, you do.
You know,
your senior year.
Yeah, absolutely. And him, you know, he knows he's the next man in. You know, it takes one injury, and that spot and that spotlight's going to be on him. So I think he's ready to roll. You might see him come out if DeSanto is completely hurt, or if they're just going to let him rest a little bit. So
I wouldn't be surprised if you see him the next couple duels, just giving DeSanto some time to. I'm with Brody. I don't think it was anything season ending. We saw him walking at the end of the duel. He seemed to be doing all right.
Well, you're one who's had, what, 3 season-ending knee injuries?
1 season-ending knee injury and then 1 shoulder injury in high school. So.
Okay. Yeah, so you've had surgery. You know what that looks like.
Yep.
Mathias underneath here, not moving very well. He's been hit twice for stalling, and Castillo choosing top there. Pretty important for him, getting some points back, even though they're not near fall points. He's getting a good ride, as Brody was talking about earlier. You know, I certainly want DeSanto to be healthy.
There we go,
and
short time left.
Happy if Glenn gets an opportunity, but there's another 133-pounder that's on the roster at Iowa. Is that individual a possibility? Is he
You know what?
eligible?
There was a lot of talk about him earlier, and to be honest with you, I haven't heard a lot on him. I think they were kind of, you know, they've got their lineup and they were pretty solidified, so I don't know if they were kind of giving him his, you know, a growth year.
Sure.
Let him get adjusted to school, adjusted to the program and all that, but you know what? If they need him, who knows what could happen.
And looking at it at 41, you had another injury there. We've got a Max Murin, great kid, only a sophomore, really a terrific wrestler. Banged up last year a little bit at the end, kind of banged up again. Carter Happel was in. There may be another spot open at 41. and we've got a transfer. What are your thoughts there?
You know what? As of now, I'm pretty sure Jaden Ironman is not qualified for the Olympic trials. So if he's not qualified for the Olympic trials, I don't see why you hold his red shirt, unless they've got some other inner workings. I know there's been talk of Jaden Ironman going up to 41, filling in for Lugo once Lugo graduates next year.
Or 49, yep.
Yep, 49. Sorry about that.
Well, I think that'd be great because then you'd have Murin, right?
But
You
I
still
also,
have both of them in the lineup.
The other day, I heard that Jaden Ironman doesn't get big enough for 49. So I heard he's going to be a 41-pounder. But I don't have a credible source on that, so I can't speak. That's just what I heard.
Yeah, it's just interesting because some of the depth that they now have, some of it is homegrown, some of it is through transfers, is new to the Iowa program. They've always had the depth, but not maybe at this caliber when they were 3rd, 4th, 5th in the nation. Now they rank number 1, and they've got these questions of great guys who get banged up and great guys behind them that were ranked that high in other clubs that are now in Iowa City.
We got some blood time here on the 106-pound finals match. 8-5 in favor of Matthias from North Scott. I'll tell you what, Castillo's wrestling pretty tough.
So this will be interesting here. Let's get this last minute rolling. It's going to be interesting in that you have Matthias, who got out to that big start, looked great on his feet. Castillo chose to ride, didn't turn him, but got a bunch of points for stalling and looked like even was wearing Matthias down. So we'll see after the blood time here how these two react.
Yeah, Matthias with a big takedown there. It was 6'5". Got one on the edge. Looks like he might have split his eye open a little bit. They're wrapping him up over there. Doc Lyons, one of the best in the business.
A wrestling legend.
Yeah.
Well, everybody goes to see him. Well, he's always here.
Wouldn't be surprised if he throws some stitches in there
right
on
now.
site. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely.
So a quick escape by Castillo makes it 8-6, and now we got a match.
Well, you get banged up on a Saturday, you got a little skin condition, you got anything that he'll come to the office on Sunday, he'll meet you. That man is a great doctor, great wrestling supporter.
Absolutely. He's got a big heart, cares for a lot of kids, doesn't really care what color singlet you're wearing either.
That's true.
He loves to help everybody.
We drove out to see him a couple of times from Bettendorf. He's a great guy. Love it.
Matthias got Castillo broken down here. That's big. It's going to eat up a lot of the clock here.
Yeah, Castillo's down 3. He's got to get an escape and get right back on his offense right away. So.
And his offense from his feet hasn't been his best.
No, that's
opportunity here.
Matthias has definitely dominated the neutral position. Castillo, I would say I'd give him the nod on the mat wrestling. We got more blood time here.
Matthias bleeding again. Looks like that eye. Doc Lyons is on it. What are you telling Castillo if you're his coach now?
I think what's big here is he's got to explode and he's got to put a couple moves together. It's not about just getting one, but he's got to get out soon enough where he can develop a takedown off of that.
Yeah, he's down 3. He's got enough time. There's 32 seconds. He's got enough time to get 1 and then 2. You're not trying to make it all back up in one big, desperate move here. You got to keep moving, get to your feet, and then get to your offense. It's going to take one really good shot to get a takedown.
The last few times I've seen Matthias wrestle, and again tonight, he's a right arm chop. Yep. And so that didn't look like we were prepared for that from Castillo, who ends up on his face with his right arm behind his back. That's what I was kind of thinking. If I'm his coach, I'm thinking, okay, what has he done to me all day? Right arm chop. What am I going to do? I'm going to get my right arm out as I come to my feet. I'm going to turn my body that way, throw that hand in front of me.
Yeah, not a lot of urgency on that first move by Castillo.
North Scott going to go 6 for 7 so far. What are there, 14 weight classes?
Yes, sir.
6 champs. We've still got some wrestling left. A little extracurricular there after the match.
Jake Matthias, your champion. Mississippi Athletic Conference, 160 pounds. He's from North Scott.
Here we go, another North Scott guy marching out there at 170, and Zach Campbell, 28-8, the 1 seed senior.
Zach's ranked number 8.
Looks like he's going up against another Muscatine. So North Scott Muscatine back-to-back matchup. Tim Nimbley.
And Nimbley's ranked number 9, so this is an interesting match. If this were at the state meet and the rankings were holding true, somebody's getting a medal and somebody's not.
Love it. Looks like Nimbley's pretty put together pretty well. Looks like a man out there.
Yeah, he's very athletic, very quick. I remember watching he and Bradley Hill, the 7th ranked wrestler from Bettendorf, who obviously got beat.
5-2 it looks like.
Okay.
In the semis.
So these two guys ready to put on a show for you in the finals. Nimbley is explosive. And as we've seen throughout the evening, North Scott very well coached. Basic on their feet, lots of singles.
Good balance by Nimbley, but God,
good awareness there on the edge.
Yeah, if you're Campbell, you got to get that leg up and pull him back to the middle. So that's a scoring position for him.
Yeah, I don't think North Scott's going to go away either anytime soon. I know their youth club, you know, I think they've got over 200 kids in the youth club out there. Obviously, Coach Kelly doing really good things out in North Scott, and that's where it starts. You know, you've got to have that youth program that keeps funneling those kids to the high school program. Without a youth club, you know, you don't have much.
To touch on that, it's tough to get a kid as a freshman and try to develop them into something that by a senior. That 4 years is not a lot of time. It sure helps when you got kids that kind of know what they're doing and are experienced when they get in there as a freshman, so you can build on top of that.
Scoring at the end of a period. 3, 2, 1. Oh, close again, no points. Yeah, that youth program at North Scott has been building for a ton of years. There's some great coaches out there. Coach Kreider, who was at the high school, is helping with the high school still, but helps with the youth program. Swanson, there's a lot of great guys and gals out there helping young people learn how to wrestle and getting great experiences along the way. Kudos to the North Scott youth program.
I see Brody Ambrose sitting front row over there. I'm sure he's helping out the high school team. He was an old ex-Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Got Ben Nagel in the corner. And those guys, they had their roots, you know, in North Scott. And they're going back to their home there, continuing to build the program. And North Scott's got a special thing going right now. They're obviously running away with this title this year with Bettendorf being banged up. I think they're probably the only ones that could have really pushed them. Yeah,
the Bulldogs have lots of injuries. Injury bug hit hard the last couple of weeks. Lots of guys out of the lineup, but that's all right. Giving other people an opportunity. Time to step up, just as we talked about with DeSanto and Glenn.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Coach Knight, Coach Jerzinos, both of them, Joey and Mark, you know, they know this isn't what people train for. This isn't what people remember, you know, the rest of their lives. They're building towards the districts and state tournament, and that's what people.
Nimbley took a shot.
Campbell's behind him, but he's got to get it. He's got to get him down on the mat. He had both legs. Let it up.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brody. Fingers crossed, everybody gets healthy, and you see a different lineup at districts, and hopefully at the state meet.
We're in a good scramble here.
Great scramble here by both guys.
Ranked number 4. There he's coming above the knee. That's quite a
Campbell's brought it all the way up.
If you're Nimbley, you got to find a way to get that foot back on the mat.
He's just trying to use his athleticism right here. He's going to explode. Great balance.
Wow, he's getting those.
That
He's
is
oh
heavy.
my! Wow,
that's a lot of pressure.
He had
there
his
on
hands
Campbell.
locked, knees tight, and he got those legs back. I don't know how that happened.
He is powerful.
The scoreboard shows 1-0, guys, but this has been a great match. A lot of attacks, a lot of different positions where you feel like you're so close to scoring, you just can't quite get it. Nimbley, he's escaped a couple times from takedowns right at the end. He's going down here. He gets out it. We got a tie match. We'll see what happens.
Free caution there. I'd be fine with that as a coach. I'd like my guy to be ready to wrestle and watching the official, because Nimley is quick, and that's a quick escape.
Yeah, he got to his feet in under a second and got away within 2.
Yeah. And there's another shot. Now Nimley gets himself in trouble off these shots. Look at him battle, however.
I don't know how is he going to get out of this one, though. Wow.
Campbell is all the way behind him.
There you go. There's 2. Now he can't lock his hands here, because if he touches his hands, that's locked hands.
A lot of match still left. 3-1
Gotta use
here
those.
on Campbell. Nimley exploded up last time. Probably took 2-3 seconds to get out. He does that again. He's got a whole period and a half to get to his offense and get to that takedown. He had a good shot there, but his head was in no man's land, and that's how Campbell got around him.
Again, quick to his feet, got away. So now we're at a 1-point match here, 3-2 in Campbell's favor with 1:20. There's still a lot of time left.
Got to use those physics principles. You get behind the guy and those knees will bend from the back. That's where you put your pressure, just like we saw. Otherwise, the strength of Nimley is amazing.
He tried to throw there. I mean, there's a minute left. Brody touched on this earlier. You don't need to be desperate now. You're only down 1. You got plenty of time. Set up your go-to attacks and be physical and diligent and get on them.
Kind of let a scoring opportunity go by right there. Campbell took a bad shot, was right out in front of him, and Nimley just let him come back to his feet. With his strength, I think you got to try to put Campbell's face through the mat right there and get a go behind. But here we are, Campbell, great shot.
Angle, great angle.
Got the leg up in the air again.
He finishes it right here. He's going to ice this match.
Look at that one hand. He reaches down and starts moving the leg. That was, a guy like Nimley, you're not going to score shooting straight on. You've got to get that angle.
We've
15 seconds. Look out.
Come back in the middle. 14 seconds left in the third period. 3-2 in Campbell's favor.
Nimley is a wizard when guys get to his legs. I assume the pressure that these guys are feeling is immense.
Well, I think that's where some of that athleticism comes in too. Hopping on that one leg and fighting that other one.
10 seconds left.
Nimley's
looking
got to
score.
go.
He's got to go.
3, 2, not a shot attempt. Your winner at 170 pounds, another North Scott wrestler, Zach Campbell.
So this next weight class right here, 182, I think it was probably one of the most even weight classes coming into the SMAC championship. You probably had maybe 6 guys that had a chance to win this tournament, and we'll kind of see who's going to rise to the top here. You do have the number 1 seed, Jack West from Davenport North, 28-7 coming into the tournament. He's the favorite here, going up against the 3 seed, Trevor Bittner, who beat John Argo in the semis, looks like in sudden victory. So a couple guys that just tough, stingy wrestlers. I know Jack West personally. He's a great athlete. I know he's an all-state football player, quarterback for Davenport North, and look at this, trying to become a wrestler.
Oh, but Bittner's sitting that corner hard. Nothing.
Great little scramble there. I mean, look at the Davenport North corner here. You got 2 young guys that are just hungry. Tommy played baseball in college, and look at him coaching wrestling. He feels like he can make a bigger impact on the sport with these kids' lives, and they put a lot of time and effort into it. Colin Carson's, he's the same thing. He's a grade school teacher. Tommy's a high school teacher up at North, and that young blood, walking around the hallways, getting guys to come out for the team. I mean, that's what it's all about. Jack West, I don't even think he wrestled when he was younger. I think he started wrestling in high school, and look, he finds himself in the championship of the MAC Conference tournament at 182 his senior year.
Oh, Bittner on a deep high crotch shot. Wes is fighting it hard, but to Bittner.
Nice shot.
Good shot, good finish. Get that leg, get it up, and finish quick. Don't give the other guy a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. He had that corner. Wasn't wasting any time to finish. It's tough to defend when guys go to those quick finishes. West doesn't waste much time. He's out. It's 2-1. 30 seconds left in the first.
I had the pleasure of watching the Clinton Bettendorf meet here just this week, and that high crotch you'll see again from him.
Yeah, look crisp. Looking at the clock here, though, probably wants to get back in on that tie and get back to that shot.
Looks like your top three are pretty well set in stone at this point. North Scott currently has 286 points. Davenport Assumption with 223.5. Bettendorf 183.5. And Pleasant Valley in fourth place with 142.
I think that's a good call by the north corner here, going down, trying to get this match tied. It's a lot tougher to wrestle from behind. You know, a lot of guys, all they want to do is defer, so they have that
right
choice
there.
in the third.
He was out, goes right back into the leg.
Still no position change.
There you go. There's one. That's where sometimes you got to clear that one and just get one. Don't get too greedy. Get your point and get
Let's
back
watch
on them.
Bittner again. If he can get that set up, you'll see him come back to that high crotch. He lifts the elbow out, turns his body, and penetrates. Uh-oh.
West goes for a headlock. Not sure if that's kind of his go-to moves or not, but a little early to be that to do stuff that if it's not your go-to and you're not solid with it, that you're just kind of giving points away there.
Yeah, I think he kind of just fell into it with his hips there. I don't think he wants to be there, and he just fell into it and was like, well, I'm going to try it, and it obviously didn't work out well for him. He's down 4-2 on his belly. He's got to find a way to come back up, get back into this match.
Yeah, that's not. Wow.
Did come to his feet.
He got one there too. He was in a front headlock. I don't know if I agree with that one, but they gave him one. 4-3. Still not reflected on the scoreboard yet, but I'm sure they'll get that figured out.
Straight on shot there. A lot of ear to ear with these two. You know, if one of them just tilted their head, oh, Jackson on a body lock here. Bittner scrambled out of it.
Now Bittner's
he's
got
in
the
on it.
body lock.
Wow, and he crunches him down. There's probably backs on the edge there. Bittner went from a bad position to a really good position really, really fast there.
Looks to me that was just a little bit of feel in that position. West started it, kind of got a little apprehensive, and then Bittner kind of knew right where he was.
Yeah, in these matches, you know, you don't need to get away from what got you here. You know, you got to stay where you're good and go to your strengths. And I'm not sure if West, you know, I don't watch him wrestle a ton, but just from the look of that, even the body lock, you know, the headlock and then the body lock, I'm not sure that's where he scores a lot of his points.
So Red's choice, which is Bittner here, he goes down winning 8-3 in the third period. West has got to get to work.
Quick switch.
Great knee slide up by Bittner there.
Knee slide.
A lot of
right.
movement. Really solid.
Good attack by West, though. He's not out of it.
These guys are scrapping out there.
Like to see him lower his level and just hit that double leg tackle.
Yep.
If Bittner's going to slow you up here on your feet, there you go. Stay with it.
Oh, Bittner on the leg there. He's deep, but West does a good job. Keep scoring those. You got to keep scoring those hips there.
Oh, there we
Little
go.
leg
There's
pass. Haven't seen that from anybody yet today.
Yeah, 182-pound football player with a leg pass. Kind of like
Can
that.
wrestle. He's got to get his head high there,
Yeah,
though.
he's got to get that leg over his head. There you go.
There you go.
Now he's got to build up, come knees under you, and chest and head up.
Where's your head?
Bittner wrestled good there. He wrestled through that position.
Gets the 2 points.
He's got a cradle locked up.
Bittner starting to put it on. 11-3 here. Minute left. He's trying to put him away now.
More back points. He's fighting off West is fighting off his back, but that's a tight cradle. He gets off, but he doesn't break the lock yet, so he's not out of the water yet.
Bittner making a statement here. Up 14-3. 40 seconds left. coming into this bracket, like I said, wide open. You know, he was the 3 seed, and he's about to tech the number 1 seed here.
Now he's got that tight waist ride, ankle hooked. Just, you know, to your earlier point, he's stalling out the rest of this match. Look at that. Then he gives up a takedown or an escape here. It's not going to hurt the score. He's still going to have a major for Bittner.
And there you go, Bittner coming
There
in
you go.
coming
Yeah.
as a 3 seed. Major decision over the 1 seed. Pretty
And your
good
MAC champ at
performance on the day.
195. Nice tournament, Mr. Bittner from Clinton. We move to 195 pounds. The only 2 ranked wrestlers in this weight class are here on the mat. They are number 7 ranked Kane Schmidt, a junior out of Bettendorf, and number 9 ranked Tyrese Johnson, a senior out of Davenport West. That's 2 Davenport West Falcons in the finals. Great job, Jim Weisrock, building that program.
Yeah, Kane Schmidt coming in as a junior with a 16-2 record. Tyrese Johnson coming as a senior with a 22-2 record. Both have some pretty impressive records there.
Kane, a multi-sport athlete as well. Football, soccer.
They're getting after that hand fighting, though, aren't they?
Couple of tough kids. Kane beat him at the duel here, right?
Kane looking for a body lock on the edge.
If he's seated higher than me.
Both pretty athletic guys. I think this is going to be an exciting match. A lot of firepower.
The Bettendorf Davenport West duel was earlier in the year, but if memory serves, I think Kane did get a W there. That was a tightly contested match. Johnson, very athletic. Kane, pretty strong. Kind of a clash of styles, just like the Nimley Campbell match at 170. Nimley, so talented. Campbell just had a little bit more wrestling background, it looked like.
Kane Schmidt on the leg, running through.
Really good change of direction there. Couldn't quite drag his feet for the 2, but was in a position to score. Minute left here, still knotted at 0.
Just an explosive shot. He gets that leg, and he really put those feet to work and ran. Oh.
And there's your takedown. Holy cow. Nice job, Johnson. Just a freight train double.
Yep. I would have liked to see Kane kind of get his legs back a little bit more there, and he kind of conceded and turned away.
Yep.
A little too
That's
early
something
on that
coaches can work
position.
with him on. One thing you won't see is any quit in Kane Schmidt. He'll be coming to his feet here pretty quick. We'll see if Johnson can get in a good ride, stop the first move.
I love looking over in the Bettendorf corner and the big guys are wrestling. You got 2 125-pounder guys over there, and Coach
Coaching.
Knight and Trezino. Nick, how long has your dad been coaching over at Bettendorf?
So, surprisingly, he never really coached when I was there. He kind of, once we got Coach Knight in, he stepped away, let Coach Knight, and Coach Knight asked him to come back. So I bet it's been, 10 years now. He's
And
been
there was probably a
he's been there
decade
while.
before that.
Yeah, and then
He's
he
always
was there.
involved.
Yeah, he's
Even
always
though he
involved.
stepped away to let Coach Knight kind of handle you and your brother Joey, he was with the kids program during that time. He coached with Paul Glenn Sr. and myself.
We got a technical violation grabbing the headgear on Johnson. So 1 point Schmidt. 27 seconds. That's big because if he gets away, it kind of negates that takedown.
Coach Weisrock asking for the crab ride, pulling back. Coach Knight telling his wrestler to get to his feet. Here's his crab ride that we were just talking about. Trying to bring him back.
Knight's asking for another headgear grab. I don't think he's going to get it this time.
Oh, that was a swing.
That was just a nice little crossface from left field.
Little love tap. Is that your nose?
That's how you want to call it.
Well, Schmidt's going to have to put together a little bit better effort from underneath if he's going to win this match.
he's too strong and explosive of a kid not to get to his feet and get away.
That crossface, though, that'd probably wake up anybody there from Johnson. So if anything's going to happen now, it's Schmidt's got to keep his composure here. Starting the period on top. Johnson up 2-1. Got to keep building on that lead.
Good hard 2-on-1. Got Johnson to his belly. Kane's on top still. Good job getting the wrist free by Johnson. Now he's got to get his head off the mat and start coming to his feet.
Nice.
I don't think Schmidt wants to be in this position. He's got his inside leg
I'd like to
hooked
be
out on the
underneath
side.
that arm, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's got that.
Trying to stretch him out.
He's trying to get that Merkle, but he's got the wrong arm locked in with the head there. He's got to get that near arm with that head, and there.
Just gives up an easy reversal.
Johnson with a nice reversal.
Yeah, in that position, if you're somewhere where you don't want to be, you'd rather give up 1, not 2. Schmidt's asking for the ref to call a headgear pull again, but
well, I think I'd rather just get my hips away.
Yep, he's got to worry about getting out.
He's capable of doing that here. This is a good position for him. If he can get his hips away and get a turn.
Just keep moving. When he's moving, he's getting in positions where he can get away, but when he's not moving.
Johnson's clingy on top. He's clingy. He's underneath those ankles. Didn't expect to see some skill out of him on top.
Must have attended the Pete Bush Claw Ride Clinic.
There's one for Kane. 30 seconds here.
$20 seconds. Let's see if. Oh my. Schmidt shoots right to his face, gives up 2. Easy.
Yeah, way too easy. You can't give points up like that.
You can kind of see it in Schmidt's face a little bit. He looks a little deflated. I don't think this is where he expected the match to be going into third, but there's still 2 minutes of wrestling. He's down 4. It's his choice. He's going down. He gets an escape here and a takedown. He's right back in the match. We'll see if Johnson keeps riding tough, though. He can eat up some of that clock, shorten the rest of this match up, but Schmidt's on his feet and he's out. 2 seconds. 2 seconds is all it took. Another shot from space. He's going to have to close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, either close that gap or he's got to get Johnson moving a little better.
Just gave up another easy go behind.
When you give up go behinds like that, that's all that is hustle. You got to work harder.
Yeah, he's just getting out hustled right now by Johnson. Johnson's beating him back to the middle. Johnson's feeling pretty good right now. You look at both these guys' faces. One's got good body language, one doesn't.
Coach Wise Rock imploring his wrestler to keep Schmidt on the mat. Stay tight on the hips where he's supposed to be, where he's been taught. You can hear him yelling, good, because the hips are tight here.
Now Kane's sitting in his lap. You got to get those hips out of there. Yep. Now that's good by Johnson. That's where you want to be.
These matches get broken down into a series of segments where, the top wrestler attempting to do something, the bottom wrestler attempting to do something, and each time you can maybe get out of the trouble you're in and move to a more comfortable position, it's a win. Baby wins throughout the match.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the momentum here and who's got it and who doesn't. Johnson looks fresh, looks good. And there's a little bit of explosion by Kane.
Yeah, when Schmidt gets himself to his feet, now you see a great job by Johnson, taking him back down, kind of won that little scramble, that little vignette. Now he's in a very comfortable position, and Schmidt's got to win this. He's got to find a way out from underneath. Hasn't gotten out this match he did. He got out real quick to start this period, but now look where we're at.
Yeah, 14
down
seconds
5 with
left.
10 to go.
Looks like Johnson's going to take this one 8-3.
Pretty impressed with Johnson here. He's wrestled all 6 minutes. All 6 minutes tough. Wire to wire.
And an intentional escape there, I suppose, just to ensure there's not a reversal quick, but that still wouldn't have done it. At 195 pounds, that is your second MAC Conference champion from Davenport West. This is Tyrese Johnson. He joins Travis Hodges, both seniors, as MAC champions. Got to feel good for Coach Weisrock, making some headway moving forward. We now move to 220 pounds. This was a great match at the duel as well. Your first seed from Davenport Assumption, a senior, 22-0, Seth Adrian. Actually, he did not wrestle Barry in the duel. Barry was hurt, so this is the first time they've wrestled this year. Now, Nick Barry, is 17-1. He's a senior out of Bettendorf, so you're 1 and 2 seeds here, ready to fly at 220, and both these guys move a lot closer to 150-pounders instead of 220s. Seth Adrian, ranked number 3 in 2A. Ethan Barry, ranked number 3 in 3A.
Yeah, these are a couple big boys. They're pretty athletic. I know Adrian's a heck of a football player, but really looking forward to this one. When Nick and I were talking on the way over here, this is one of the matchups that we were most anticipating. Barry with a big roll through. Adrian's going to come out on top, though, and Barry's on his back. There's 2 and 2, 4-0.
I think I was absent the day they taught that front headlock roll. I haven't seen that too often.
Yeah,
Put himself in some danger.
That's what I keep talking about. You know, sometimes when you get in the spotlight matches where there's big matches, guys start going to where they're not comfortable. They need to stick to what got them here. You know, they start doing these funky things that they're not solid at. They probably don't really know, honestly, what they're doing in those positions. They just kind of fall into it because the other guy's putting them there, and instead of kind of taking your medicine, maybe giving up the 2, he gives up 2 and 2, which puts him in a hole to start this match. Now it's 4-1.
If you get caught in a bad position, we always talk about minimizing that bleed. Don't keep letting it bleed. Take care of it now, and then, 2 is a lot better than getting up 4.
$30 seconds here left in the first. If I'm Barry, I'm on the attack.
Yeah, you got to get one going away, don't you?
If you get one here and ride out short, 3 to 4, that big move's not that big of a deal anymore.
And I think Adrian, he's probably content staying in good position here with head position, just controlling the tie, taking this lead going into the second.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. But Barry should have a bigger sense of urgency here.
Yeah, you can't wait till the last period. So many guys at this level, they wait till the third period, and that's when they start getting a fire under their butt, But you've got to have a sense of urgency. You got to use all 6 minutes, especially in these big matches. You can't waste any time.
Adrian to his feet right away. Oh! And now
he's got a chicken wing. That thing is tight.
Boy.
And he throws the half in the other side.
Oh, that was stopped for potentially dangerous. Felt like that was early. At that point, he was running a half from the opposite side. The chicken wing had basically kind of fallen out. It wasn't putting the pressure on the shoulder.
If it hurts, they'll go over. Trust me. If it hurts enough, they'll go over. Adrian flat on his belly here. Barry's applying a lot of pressure. Power half. Adrian rolls through.
First half, he's got her. He was close there. Adrian back to his belly. He's got to think about moving. Otherwise, I know these refs have been slow with stalling, but I could see him throwing one out here pretty soon.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to get his head off the mat, start building up. I know that's a lot of pressure, but you got to try to improve your position.
Another one of those Hello Kitty crossface.
Yeah, not much work from Adrian here on bottom.
Well, now the Bettendorf fans are starting to call for it. Instead, a stalemate is called. The ref believing neither wrestler could improve his position, puts him back in the starting position here. They most closely approximated. Adrian down and Barry up. That's a caution, Barry, for a quick start.
Yeah,
you got a free caution. I'm okay with that.
Obviously, I'm an assumption guy at heart, you know, but when the guy's flat on his belly and the top guy's got the boot in and he's working power halves and the guy can't get his head off the mat, you know, the ref bailed him out there, gives him a fresh start, and gives him kind of new life. You know, I don't think you can call a stalemate there when the top guy's in a dominant position. I think you got to bang the guy on bottom and make him work.
Yeah, conceptually, I think we agree. Seth looked good in that first period, and I think maybe that builds some goodwill as well.
I think he was pretty happy to get that 4-point move, and he hasn't done too much after that.
Yeah, that was kind of a gift. But you're certainly going to take it if you're Adrian.
Yep. Let's go, Ethan. So Barry goes down to start the third. 2 minutes left. Adrian's winning 4-1.
You know, I got to think Adrian's probably got some pretty good lungs under him right
Immediately,
here.
he gets
he just
out.
Lets him go. It's 4-2. If I'm Adrian, you got to get back on top and you got to widen this gap. You can't hold. Got to get to your offense, but both these guys' feet right now are just stuck in the mud. They're forehead to forehead. There's got to be some more action. There's a great snap by Adrian, followed up with that's how you wrestle right there. That's good.
If I'm coaching Barry now, I want him back on his high crotch. Keep your right hand free.
Yeah, I think a little more movement with those feet and those hands. You got to get the guy moving. There's a lot of time left in the match. There could be a lot more scoring to have.
I would not want to be head-to-head tied up like this if I'm losing.
No, the clock's just ticking right here. Adrian, he probably doesn't feel threatened right now. You know, Barry's standing straight up with him, toe-to-toe. Neither guy has head position. Neither guy really has hand position either. You know, Barry's taking a peek at the clock. That's not a good sign. You know, he needs to get in this match.
He proved in the second he's been able to ride and maybe get close to turning Adrian, but that's not going to happen without a takedown here. You got less than a minute. You trail by 2, so get the takedown no matter what. The question then becomes, do you ride him out, go to overtime, or do you give him 1 and try to get 2 based upon what the clock says? And it's getting tight now. You're getting down to 30.
At this point, you don't have a choice. This time you got to
get a takedown and you ride him.
Yeah, you're going to have to ride him out. And there's been no attempt in a minute and a half from Barry. He was out in 2 seconds. Okay, straight on double now.
Now he needs a flurry here. He needs to create a flurry.
And Adrian's just got to keep moving his feet, keep his weight low, stay out of big ties. Now we're down to 12. Wow.
Yeah, not a whole lot happened in that match. I was expecting a little bit more. But Adrian, he gets gutsy, finds a way to win, and sometimes in this sport, that's what you got to do.
So your MAC champion at 220 pounds from Davenport Assumption. He's a senior, Seth Adrian. All right, we got a treat now at heavyweight. You'll get to see the #1 ranked wrestler in the state of Iowa from Bettendorf, Griffin Little. He's an Iowa Hawkeye football recruit as a junior. He's going to wrestle a Muscatine junior, 18-3 on the year, Toga Desch? I hope it's Desch.
Yeah,
Disa?
I believe was that last week that these two met the duel. With Griffin. Griffin won the last meeting.
Yeah, Griffin's an undefeated junior. He's got a taped up. Look at that. Nice reach, but he's
Shoot comes right into that body lock, steps in front, puts him right to his back.
taped up from a football injury. Had a little surgery on his thumb. That got fixed up. He's ready to go, clearly with this body lock. And fall.
There it is.
We're winning by fall. At heavyweight from Bettendorf, number 1 ranked Griffin Little. So it's been a pleasure to bring you the MAC Conference Championship. Tonight we'd like to thank Jorgensen Insurance for their sponsorship. They're an active member of the Quad Cities community, sponsoring local high school sporting events along with Hawkeye Wrestling that we talked about here on this broadcast. More importantly, they can assist in finding a personalized solution for your insurance needs. Visit jorgenseninsurance.com for your free, no obligation quote. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for the world's oldest and greatest sport, the sport of amateur wrestling. Don't hassle us, we're local. Brody, thanks so much. Nick, thanks so much. You guys did an awesome job. We really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Great. You guys were awesome. I had tons of people that messaged me and stuff that said they come.